He's a groundbreaking producer who has brought underground Malaysian music to the mainstream and made stars of local musicians.
The thing that I've set out to do here is to not give the people what they want, but to give the people what they don't know they want.
They're an up-and-coming band that blends spiritual chants and folklore of Sarawak into an innovative, modern avant-garde sound to mesmerize audiences.
We are fighting for getting to know our own identity, getting back to the roots, and getting to really understand where we came from. What are we today, and where are we heading to?
Together, they represent the diversity of music made in Malaysia. Not just for the bright lights, fame and fortune, but simply for art's sake.
Elvis Presley had Colonel Parker. The Beatles had Brian Epstein. You need someone to say, I don't care whether you think this is bad or weird, I'm just going to push it.
And that's what Ahmad Izham Omar has been doing, pushing to create a mainstream platform for music that was once only heard in Malaysia's underground scene.
So in the kitchen, probably think I run hype beast. I peace. I see them juices up. They sip some iced tea. Them honeys loosen up. They love the view when the sun go down and the roof come up, and when they let them drive topless.
He's helped make stars of talented unknowns. Jaclyn Victor, today one of Malaysia's most successful singers, can attest to this. This girl from the small town of Kepong caught Izham's eye and ear when she took part in a national talent show.
It started 10 years ago in 2004 with Malaysian Idol. I used to sing in clubs with my band. And so obviously when everybody else wakes up, I'm still asleep. But my mom got the papers in the morning and she came barging into my room, and I'm like, because she'd never wake me up because, you know, I came home late and I'm tired and sleeping. But she's like, you have to read this, and I can hardly open my eyes, right? And I'm like, Mom, just read it to me. And then she's like, Ahmad Izham Omar says that the next world idol could be from Kepong. Lalu ku redah onak duri dan lautan api, kemuncaknya ingin ku tahu.
I did not know Jaclyn then. It was I have this very standard line I use that if you can become a world beater even if you come from Kepong, and I just happened to use Kepong again. Sorry, the people of Kepong, I don't mean to insult you, but what happened? You have a world beater here. I didn't see her during the first audition, but I saw her during the subsequent auditions because people were talking about her, how good the vocals were. She was one of the clear favorites from the beginning, which they were telling me. But when I heard her singing, I remember thinking, and this is the first time I'm ever going to say it, that's it, that's our winner. And the competition hasn't even started yet.
Jaclyn is today one of Malaysia's most successful singers. She's become an international star and has even sung for the US President Barack Obama. Not bad for the young singer who decided to take part in Malaysian Idol without a clue that she was going to win.
For the first time in my life, I wasn't nervous. I was like, do or die. I was like, there's a reason I'm here today, and I was praying like a mad person behind stage. I wanted to see the audience, right? Because I'm so used to singing in clubs, and you get the energy and all that from the crowd, right? And I was hidden at the back, and I could hear all this noise. Everybody's cheering, and I'm thinking, I just want to look and take it all in, but I couldn't. You can see when they were announcing my name, my shoulders were all drooped, and I'm like so tired, and I'm like, when's this gonna end? And I couldn't believe that I won, and it was everything after that was just a blur.
You have to listen to her singing Gemilang, the winning song, especially the back part. 3 of my most favorite moments in music. Listening to the Beatles do something, you know, listening to Nirvana, Lithium, and listening to Jaclyn Victor's second half of Gemilang. It's up there. You listen to it, your body just goes crazy. It's never heard anything like that before. It's pure talent, and I think comes from something inside. It's a gift, right? Plus she has the dedication to hone it, to make it nicer, to work on it better. So you have those two combinations, right? The combination of pure raw talent and also hard work plus hunger. In many ways, I guess we were the launch pad in that sense, where she took it and then she moved further.
While Jaclyn Victor has found herself a place on the world music stage, there's always new talent that is still waiting to be discovered. From the jungles of Borneo in East Malaysia, 7 young musicians have begun a journey they hope will win them an international following. In 2012, they joined forces to form Nading Rhapsody.
Back then, we doing different things compared to what we do now. Pop music, jazz music.
Some of the guys
alternative, hardcore, 360 transformation. Our old friend, our old one, come and approach us. Just, what is happening to you guys just now? You know, transforming yourself into from A to Z.
Music is their first love, but paying the bills still make day jobs necessary. One is a car mechanic. The only female band member is an executive with a solid waste management company. The third is a teacher. 3 friends work in a Sarawak hospital, while the 7th member has taken a sabbatical to work in Kuala Lumpur. The young friends decided to enter a local competition on a whim, more as an opportunity to get together and practice their music. Little did they expect to win it.
We were like laughing so hard and was like chilling at the back, and suddenly when it was the moment when people announced who was the winner, we didn't even care. Someone came to the back and said,
The MC,
"Hey, you guys won!" And then we're like, "What?" So we were not expecting it, and then let alone to know that the winner was given a spot to perform.
And in international stage.
Yes, at an international stage, which is the Rainforest World Music Festival.
The annual Sarawak Rainforest World Music Festival would expose the talented band to a much wider audience. Nading Rhapsody, named after one of the gods of indigenous Dayak folklore, had begun its journey as serious musicians.
No more life, no more pain. No more suffering near in the end. Let us go, with and go. Don't lose it all. No more life, no more pain. No more suffering near in the end. Let us go.
Nading Rhapsody's music is a fusion of elements from their rich local culture, modern instrumentation and progressive arrangements. A musical amalgam they're counting on to take them to the top.
Tiada lagi, cukup sudah. Tiada lagi. No more life, no more pain. No more suffering nearing the end. Let us go, with and go. Don't lose it. Umbasnya, padu pastinya padu lagi. Cukup sudah, tiada lagi. Cukup sudah, tiada lagi. Umbas, umbas, say umbas, say umbas. Hey.
I started playing music at the age of 3 when my mother decided to wheel in an upright piano into the house, and all of us were surprised at this. And she opened up the piano and I just started playing the notes one by one from the bottom to the very top. I just was fascinated by it. I didn't whack on it, I just played note by note. And then she told me why she bought the piano. She said, Izham, I want to sing the Beatles and I want you to accompany me. So please practice now. I was 3, turning 4. I had no idea what she was talking about. But she sent me to classes. And then I had an uncle who helped me, showed me some chords, kind of put the two together. And in the end, we started playing the Beatles. I Want to Hold Your Hand. I think it's my mom's all-time favorite song.
As much as Izham loved playing music, he soon realized there was more he could do.
So when I was a teenager, I realized at the age of 15, I was always commenting about how music was produced. I wish the guitars were like that. I wish they put horns on this. I wish the singer sang it a different way. I wish the sound was a bit different. Then I realized I was actually becoming a music producer. Then I started reading up about Quincy Jones and George Martin. And then I realized there was a good job. There was a job like that out there. And I really wanted to be music producer and music arranger, songwriter. I did quite well in school. So I had scholarships to do things that were not musical. They gave me a scholarship for law, a scholarship for international relations, scholarship for economics. But I said no. I said I didn't want that. On the way to receiving these scholarships, by chance, I saw YD School of Music and they were teaching jazz piano. I just knew about jazz a little bit and I wanted to know more, so I just parked the car and walked in and I had a trial class with a woman named Helen Yap. Helen Yap. I didn't realize it was Helen Yap until she said, my name is Helen Yap. I said, oh my God, it's Helen Yap. Helen Yap is one of the best producers, arrangers, songwriters in Malaysia, and she helped Sheila Majid with a lot of stuff on the second album, the big one. Then I realized I'm playing piano with Helen Yap. After we jammed for a bit, Helen just looked at me and said, you know what, Izham, you should go to Berkeley. And then I was thinking, if Helen Yap tells me to go to Berkeley, I'm going to Berkeley. I took up music production and engineering, which meant I was in the studios a lot. I worked in a punk recording company. And then I decided to take a master's degree in business, also in Boston. While I was doing that, I was doing a second degree in music business and management, and one business and one music, with the whole intention of combining the two. I did try to find work in one of these big record companies, like a BMG or EMI. Most of them were based in New York. I realized learning about the industry there and learning about what things were going back home, over there in the US, I would be a small fish in a big pond. Whereas over here, I could try and make a difference. Back in Malaysia at that time, the music industry was like this ghost town, cowboy town, if you will. Where then I realized I could be sheriff, right? So I want to be sheriff. So I went back home and said, I want to be sheriff. So I first went to BMG, asked for a job, and they said, okay, we got a promotional executive job, maybe you want to put up posters of Winnie Houston tomorrow. And then I met Paul Moss and Positive Tone, and I realized, wait a minute, there's something bigger happening, and maybe I should be part of that.
Paul Moss became Izham's mentor. He admits he learned more about music from Moss than he did in his 4 years at the Berklee School of Music.
There was Paul, hunched over a monitor, looking angry. In fact, nothing has ever changed. This is not the right mix, but I played for you anyway. And he played something, and it just reminded me of the time that I was in Boston, being part of a punk record company. The sound was different. It wasn't like the typical Malaysian sound that I've ever heard before. The music was just, 3-4 chords, but the energy in that band was just incredible. When he finished up the OAG mixes, I brought it around to all the record distributors. Nobody believed in it, and they were laughing at us. They were saying that this, you got to get a big Malay songwriter to help you with your album. I said, but it doesn't make any sense. I love all these big Malay songwriters, big Malay artists, but it doesn't make any sense for this new sort of post-punk, I don't know what you call it, independent style music, and the energy is so different. And they were saying that you'll never make it. This will never work.
There was a whole ecosystem that started to sort of gravitate and be created around the recording and the production of these guys. So you've got a lot of the producers who have been popular, have been successful in the last sort of 10 years, sort of came to us. At this concept of, you be the candle, and the moths will all sort of come. So if you're good and you're sort of known for what you do, then everyone will gravitate to you.
It all started simply from a guy from Poetic Ammunition, at the time that they were known as, came over to the studio where Paul was working in and just said that I'm an artist, and Paul said, prove it to me. And the guy started rapping on the street. So that became Poetic Ammo, and he says, I got a friend. And that was OAG. Yeah. And it became friend. Innuendo was a friend of a friend of a friend. Too Fat, that's a different thing. They created their whole entire fan base first, but they were always wanting to be with us, and we always wanted to be with them.
Hey, you, what to do? The world you know comes down on you, you feel that.
Among other things, Paul Moss taught Izham was to listen beyond the often unfinished sound of a demo.
Hey, you keep it cool. Love isn't what you plan, but choose to take time to know you, and just a little light will come shining through, yeah.
Back in 1998, I received a demo from a young guy called Farhad from Singapore. I heard it, I didn't think much of it, and then I actually threw it in the dustbin. But along came Paul Moss, who heard it with me and fished it out. And went like, listen to this again, Izham. Disregard the piano player. Listen to the voice, listen to the soul in this guy. So I listened again, and I heard it. Once I have reheard the demo, then I realized that there was something in the honesty and the sincerity of the voice. So I thought that was good because when you deliver a performance, right, you gotta be sincere. You can't fake it, and he didn't fake it.
Having had limited success in Singapore, Farhad hoped Izham could help get him a bigger audience in Malaysia.
So I heard about Izham independent label called Positive Tone. They're doing a lot of great work, especially with the underground band, and this particular huge hit of band of theirs, which is called Innuendo. They were just taking away all the awards in Malaysia at that time, and I thought they would be the person that would probably, understand me. And then he heard the track, he'd probably tell you that he threw away my first demo of Soul in Me into the bin. But Paul Moss, our A&R manager there, he liked it. Then he said, let me think about it. We have a compilation coming out called Tricks and Tale. You could be, perfect for it. Then we met again a couple of times, and he heard more tracks of mine, and it was settled. I got signed up for the compilation Tricks and Tale.
Farhad, the Singapore R&B singer, became a huge success in Malaysia, with both a Malay and non-Malay fan base.
I think he was a champion of lost causes. I think a lot of the so-called artists that reached his doorstep at Positive Tone had a story to tell. They were either turned down from another big label, and he was this really small little fry, and then everybody's going towards him. Although he was calculated, but he was quite open too. There was music that I think for sure had that particular, like someone like Julia the Orange or Nice Stupid Playground were to go to a bigger label, they wouldn't have been accepted then. But because of him, those kind of music became standard now. So I think local music industry owe Izham debt of gratitude for.
I don't know about that. I think I was just standing on the shoulders of giants. That these guys were already coming out with some great art out there, some really great stuff, and someone just needs to push them in the right direction and give them the space that they need. The problem with the music industry then and now is that it will focus always on its energy on the biggest artists with the biggest revenue potential.
Correct.
But Malaysia and any other country for that matter has a lot of different kind of demographics. Not everybody listens to mainstream. There got to be at least 20 to 30% who doesn't. I was going for that 20-30%, and I became a monopoly in that little 20-30%.
Ahmad Izham Omar, who helms one of the biggest media companies in Malaysia today, was once a maverick music producer with a reputation for attracting musicians on the fringe or from the underground scene.
Mereka kata masa depan kami sungguh cerah. Lyrics dan rap kami pak anugerah. Ini semua sebelum semua anugerah. Masa bila lapar semua makan mi segera. Show pertama luar KL di Pulau Pinang. 8 orang naik 2 kancil tapi semua senang. 2 bilik 4 katil jadi 4 di lantai. Kalau tidak silap ada yang sampai tidur di pantai. The causeway up. Matter of fact, the main reason these broads stay up. I could die them in Michelin star restaurants, take them to the stalls and the robbers' hoods, they're not.
While musicians gravitated towards Izham and positive tone, he was also known for going after the kind of artists he wanted to work with. Bands like the then relatively unheard of Too Fat.
No lies, can't like men. In the ride DeLorean with the lightning. Back to the future, so I got the freshest Nikes. So many kicks, you probably think I run hype beast. I peace, I see them deuces up. They sip some iced tea, them honeys loosen up. They love the view when the sun go down and the roof come up. And when I let them drive topless, the roof come down. The roof come down. Okay. This is when you need an R&B singer.
97, 98, we saw what they did live on stage. Then they came to record their songs over in our studio. So I, snuck a listen. And what I heard just simply blew my mind because this level of production I never heard before. They were not our artists yet. So then we went to court them. I always like to sign artists who I consider are anthems of a generation, and they were an anthem of their generation. It was a movement that they were at the forefront of this movement. People call it a hip-hop movement, but I don't know, it's just a movement of young kids, following them, kept 45 degrees to the side, that kind of stuff. So I thought it was really good, and we wanted to see how we can help bring it further.
Nice tone.
I don't wanna die alone, but if I do, is it okay? Doesn't matter anyway.
This is how Tufa was born, basically. So my good friend by the name of Chris Kang needed to hand in his first semester assignment. He was a student at SAE. So he was like, hey Joe, everybody's doing like rock bands and guitar and singing, I want to record some rappers. So why don't you come in with Malik? And I had another friend by the name of Kevin. And Malik already showed his like flair for writing, because I thought like, okay, we bring a couple of instrumentals and we'll just rap other people's songs. But when I went to pick Malik up, he said, yo, I wrote 2 songs. Full songs, like 3 verses, chorus, bridge. So we went in, we recorded these 2 songs. And that's how we got our first gig. 2 weeks later, we got a call from Nazri, who's now with one of the radio stations, one of the big radio stations here. He was like, we really like your demo, want to offer you, your group, this gig. What's your group's name? And so we don't have a group, so you can call me back in 20 minutes with the name if you want the show. So that's how Too Fat was born.
So what we wanted to do was create a difference in the music industry at that time. And we knew that there was this tribes of up-and-coming artists, like the one in SS15, IRC chat, right? There were tribes of them everywhere, in alternative, in hip-hop, in R&B, and they were just wanting to be heard, and there was no place for them. And the quality was very high, very, very good standard. So we thought that we helped them by giving them really good quality recording, push them as hard as we can through marketing, and let their creativity flourish. With Too Fat, really the creativity all came from them. I was just glad to be there, to observe and to provide a space for them to just launch wherever they want.
No, it's always been nice. Like, he's played on a few of our records, and some of these hooks or intros are, until today, I think some of the best interludes that we've ever done. Like Jezebel, he totally killed.
Jezebel was good, eh?
Yeah, very good. Jezebel with Innuendo, and Izham helped us get some of the collabos that we might not have been able to secure.
But okay,
it was fun times.
It was fun times, and I remember I was telling my team at that time, right? Because they were asking me what the direction of Positive Tone was. I said, we're not just selling urban music to urban people. We want to sell urban music, the values that it is, to the mass market. And I did tell them, I want the security guard at TV3, the mass market station, to hum Too Fat. That is the ultimate, meaning that they actually know the urban sounds. Funny thing was, on the very first day that I went to work at TV, I had to park near the security guard. And as I got out of the car, he was actually humming Anak Ayam, which is Too Fat. I thought that was the planets were aligned, and maybe God was saying that your work in music is done. Mission completed.
Angan-angan jadi impian, impian jadi cita-cita. Kata-kata jadi lagu, puisi jalanan tercipta. Siapa kata jangan bermimpi, doaku pada yang esa. Mungkin permulaan baru di ketika berbeza.
Waktu berhenti, ku toleh ke sisi, engkau tiada di sampingku.
The music of Nading Rhapsody borrows from the ancient folk stories of Borneo's indigenous people, with strains of lullabies long forgotten and even plaintive funeral chants. The band approaches this rich and often sacred material with great sensitivity, so as not to give offense to both the living world and the spirit realm. The band travels to the heart of Borneo to seek the blessings and guidance of the Tukung Sabak, one of the remaining few funeral chanters here. For band members and brothers Kevin and Yen, this is a special journey. They're returning to their ancestral Iban longhouse and seeking blessings from their great-grandfather.
For today, we will go to my village. It is in Semunjan, Sarawak. We are going to meet my great-great-grandfather, who is a natural chanter, or in Sarawak we call Tukang Sabak. We will hear the original version. When we want to compose a new song or a new chant, we will seeking advice from my great-grandfather, because the old chants cannot be used fully, 100%, because there's a taboo in there. So we need to seek advice from him. What is not to be done, what is can be done.
Nading Rhapsody's music has been heard by thousands at venues beyond Sarawak, but their intimate performance for family in the very place the elements that inspire them was born takes on a greater spiritual significance.
First time when I went to my village, my kampong, I tell him that, can you chant for us? He said, why? Because we want to learn. And then he really surprised in that time because he never expected that his great-grandchildren will ask him about this kind of thing. Because in reality, these things now slowly, young people, they don't want to hear about it. When I asked him, I want to hear him chant, and then he chant for me, and then there's something inside that chant that I really like. It's not about music, only about music. It's all about our culture, our tradition, our roots. Youngsters like us also can do that type of things. So it's not that hard to learn it. It's not that hard to love it. It's not that hard to preserve it.
So I'm very proud of this Nading Rhapsody because they are trying to keep this culture alive. Not to say to practice it, but to just to keep it, to encourage other youth or other youngsters to join them so that our culture will not vanish.
So we are still digging our own roots. Then what we found, what we witnessed, we share it with everybody. That is our music.
I think we were young. We are still young, Paul. But at that time we were young and we thought, what the hell?
No, is blind optimism.
Blind optimism.
Yeah, you can go a hell of a long way on blind optimism.
When you don't know what you are facing, you don't know the risks and the pitfalls that come, you would do it. And we didn't know. We thought, hey, let's change the world. And so we thought, okay, let's change the world. And that was tough.
It just got so hard at times. I remember just face down on the carpet of the studio in section 16. It was really smelly carpet. But literally just, you know, it was a breakdown of some kind, you know, and just how to get through those times, just really at lowest point. But somehow you dig in, you know, you find you can go deeper, you can go further.
Did I tell you the time when, I think I did tell everybody this story. I had to go through the toll and it was 50 cents and I only had 40 cents in my pocket. It was so sad because I had to reverse out the toll. Everybody was honking around, but I found a faster way from KL to PJ, man.
Positive Tone had several big hits in successful artists, but this belied the struggles of a small record label in a tough business. And to grow even more, Izham and Paul Moss took the decision to sell the company to EMI in 1998.
There was many strategic reasons to do that. The bigger thing is to make all our lives bigger and see whether it will grow from there. We were struggling all the time. Now the artists were big, right? But you know, you got a hit, you become big, got a hit, become big, and it's all this, what's the next thing? So we thought with the EMI alliance/investment into us that would become even bigger and get to do more stuff, you know, and get more people in, more marketers in, more promotional guys in.
It's been a long, long day, yeah. I've got the stuck inside blues. I wanna go outside, put on my blue suede shoes. Go on, Eddie! Eddie!
Soon after, Izham was approached with an offer to get into a business he knew little, if anything, about: television. He asked his longtime collaborator Paul Moss to join him.
Skills you can learn on the job, but what you have inside you, whether you're fast, whether you're flexible, whether you're resilient, whether you're courageous, that one can't be taught. That one we need. So we hired a lot of really, really strong characters around. We had animators, we had advertising guys, we had graphic guys, we had novelists, we had storytellers. All they say is do it for the right reason. Right? So we all did it for the right reason. And that's why we launched, that's how we launched 8TV.
Music has had a way of infusing everything that Izham does. Even though he's moved to television, he's found a way to bring music into it. The Degatua's band looks like a local band jamming at a studio, but on closer look, they're all colleagues and ex-colleagues of Izham Omar. East Malaysian band Nading Rhapsody is making a name for itself on the international world music stage. The band recognizes their growing success is related to the authenticity of their sound and the resolve to stay true to their indigenous roots.
What I find most important is that in a person, you have to live your life knowing what is your identity. And for our fight, we are fighting for getting to know our own identity, getting back to the roots, and getting to really understand where we came from. what are we today and where are we heading to. So it pretty much resembles the journey of what Nading Rhapsody is doing now. For Nading Rhapsody's repertoire, the compositions of our songs it consists of not only focusing on one tribe, because what we're trying to do is that we're trying to represent Sarawak itself. Because if you can see Sarawak, there's the image of Sarawak and also Borneo, you can see there's a lot of ethnicity in it. And also if you meet one person like both of us, we're not only just one tribe. So our composition also represents Sarawak itself in a song. So it's a mixture of there's Iban, there's Bedayu, there's orang Ulu. Like for example, our song Nimang Silimba, which is a combination of Iban language and also the Bedayu language. Because for Nimang Silimba, which is it
Nimang
also
is pantun.
Yes, pantun, and the Silimba is what we adapted from an old lullaby that has been forgotten. Silimba, Silimba ulu nobi, Silimba, Silimba ulu nobi.
Kalau kita lihat sekarang ini adalah sesuatu perkembangan yang amat sehat lah. Kalau dulu agak kurang lah generasi-generasi muda yang melibatkan diri dalam alat-alat muzik untuk mempromosikan alat-alat muzik tradisional Sarawak khasnya. Dan sekarang ini kita boleh saksikan banyak anak-anak muda yang dapat menguasai alat-alat muzik tradisional. Selain daripada main alat muzik tradisional, dia akan memainkan alat-alat contemporary music. Sebagai contohnya, kalau yang mempelopori dahulu untuk kontem adalah kumpulan Tukuk Kami, dan sekarang ada juga macam Nading Rhapsody dan banyak lagi lah.
You need two things to be a success. Number one, you need someone to believe in you. You need a champion. You need someone who believes in your music and pushes you.
The young Sarawakian musicians are pushing the boundaries to create music that audiences will love and hope to find that someone who actually believes in them. Till that happens, they continue creating all for art's sake.